Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Swanton Village Board of Trustees for Monday, August 9th, 2021. First order of business is, could you please stand? We'll have a pledge of allegiance to the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item. Oh, I wanted to welcome our guests this evening. It seems nice for a change to have some guests in the audience live. Next item, agenda review. Any changes, additions to the agenda?
One addition to add personnel to our executive session.
Personnel, and we got one other thing.
Customer accounts.
Yeah. Okay, we're adding executive session for customer accounts and personnel.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Public comment? Anybody like to bring anything up?
I have nothing on Zoom, so.
Well, thank Dean and the boys for quieting the bridge down last week. I appreciate it because I'm real close by, but there's still work to be done.
Yeah, that won't be the end of it.
Yeah. Item number 5, approve and accept the minutes from our Monday, July 26th meeting. What's your pleasure on the minutes?
I will make that motion, July 26 minutes approved.
And I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve and accept the minutes from Monday, July 26th, 2021. Any discussion, questions, corrections?
Good.
So Diane did another good job.
Absolutely.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion is carried unanimously. Item number 6, approve and accept the village warrants through Thursday, August 5th, 2021. What's your pleasure on the warrants?
I'll make the motion that we approve the warrants through August 5th as printed.
And I would second.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to approve and accept the village warrants through August 5th. Any discussion, questions?
No.
No question?
Nope, just we
Did
bought
my
a lot of
homework.
we bought a lot of electricity.
Moving right along. All right, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion is carried unanimously.
So
Item
just,
number 7.
just a brief comment on that, if I could. You know, when you're saying we're buying a lot of electricity,
Yeah,
we're at historic lows ever recorded for our hydro right now.
really?
Yeah. So there is a concern. Remember how we got out of the, having to purchase any of the res recs?
Yeah,
Because we're 100% renewable and we're 80% generation, whatever. We may be pulled out of that because our generation is so low and we having to go out and buy.
they don't make any provision for
Talking about the state.
water availability or anything?
Talking about the state now.
Wow.
We had to buy some?
Oh, we
Yeah,
had-
oh, yeah,
A bunch, right?
So the
Lynn?
water we got in the last week,
no,
And they got that
that all
much of
sucked
it.
into the ground.
So the bill was like 192,000. The hydro credits on it for units 1 through 4 was under $700. That's usually in the tens of thousands of dollars, if not 100,000. Unit 5 was more than that, but not much more than that. Like there's no generation.
When the bladder was deflated, we had more generation,
Yep.
believe it or not,
it's deflated.
when it was,
Oh, when it was.
yeah.
That just shows you how much water's behind the dam. It's not much.
That's too bad. Hopefully we
Well, hopefully we can catch up and can we appeal and say, you know, this is a phenomenon that's beyond our
Well,
control and it will come back?
Yeah, you know we will, but we'll see.
Okay,
There was other utilities that didn't want us to be out of it too, so.
I doubt I can do much, but tell me if I need to make some calls, let me know.
So it doesn't
That's
sound
crazy.
like- Doesn't sound like we're gonna get much rain this week either.
No. And we're gonna have high demand all week.
Yeah. AC.
Yep.
Okay, next item, Brendan Diesel, select board member from St. Albans, St. Albans Town, to discuss.
Kerry Johnson also.
Oh, Kerry Johnson.
Hi, my name's Brendan Deso. I'm the select board chair from St. Albans Town. This is Carrie Johnson, our town manager. She's been with us since 2012 and then had a over 10-year stint with the town of Georgia before that as their town administrator. She and Reg work very well together, as you can see when you first
We
met.
noticed.
Yeah, no. We're really excited to be here. And we want to keep it brief and be respectful of your time. The main reason we're here tonight is the American Rescue Plan and the money we have coming our way from the federal government. We're expecting just under $2 million or so. And we would like to use it towards water and sewer infrastructure to facilitate commercial and/or industrial growth, if possible. And we're out exploring options to invest that money as responsibly as possible and in a way that will actually facilitate good growth. To give you a short preamble, our tax rate's about 40 cents on a roughly $6 million budget. Some of our largest services are our public works department's the largest segment of our budget. Our second largest is a $1.2 million expense for policing services, which is administered by the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. The town of St. Albans is able to spend about 48 hours of coverage on the average day. 2 deputies from the Sheriff's Office 24/7. If you followed along in the messenger with the Sheriff's Office's quarrel with the town of Georgia, you'll see that the town of Georgia is now buying 8 hours a week of coverage. I think I read that right. We know that our ability to buy enhanced services is directly related to our industrial park and our commercial growth on the north end. We know that our north end has water and sewer service available to it, but we're not exactly totally okay with the parameters around that service. We think that there might be a better option available in the market. We've noticed that you've had good organic growth extending up Route 207, and that our North End Growth Center could very well bleed into a very well done concentrated South Growth Center for Swanton. And we know we're going to need some water and sewer infrastructure in that area to facilitate the kind of growth we all hope to see. There's 49 acres listed right next to Tractor Supply. And you've already seen, the Gagne Brothers garage went in, Mother Hubbard's is in, the church is there. It's already starting to do it organically. So we're hoping to work with you to see if there's any options available, whether it's a decentralized, sewer treatment system for that area. We don't know what the costs are for that, but we're definitely not here with anything in particular in mind, because quite frankly, we know that you know this business way better than we do. It's very evident just in your discussion tonight. You see these challenges related to these systems and the infrastructure, and you know how to administer them very well. I personally am a Swanton Village Electric customer. I've done a few residential build-outs now. I think I'm in my 3rd project with Swanton Village. And I'm doing that all in the town of Highgate. And the service is incredible. The back end and front end is just really well done. And we know that if we could work together with Swanton Village and Swanton Town on doing some type of municipal water and sewer infrastructure expansion, whatever that looks like, or wherever that looks like, we'll throw darts at the board until it sticks, because we know that working with you will be very beneficial for the town. You know this business. And just talking with Reg, we know that your mindset is that it's a public good, and that if you create good growth in another community, it will lead back into Swanton and you will reap benefits. We've noticed how well you've treated the state of Vermont and the town of Highgate related to airport infrastructure. That alone is reason enough for us to be here, let alone the ARPA money. So that's why we're here tonight. In a couple weeks, we'll be visiting with the town of Georgia to have a similar discussion. We don't know the exact status of the Perigo, the formula plant expansion, but that was rumored to be in the $300 million range in taxable value. And if that were to happen with Georgia, they would have the type of funding available to maybe even talk about a bond to extend maybe the Champlain Water District up Route 7 and into our south end if we were partnered with them. So there's a lot of options available to us to help diversify the water and sewer market in the greater St. Albans area. And we'd love to keep working together and having discussions. If you guys have any ideas at all.
Yeah, that sounds real positive, and we appreciate your compliments, but, and we're, like you say, we're working hard with P.E.G to bring the development to our northeast corner, and help them and us. I mean, it'll help all Franklin County. And we've had ideas in the works for the south end, now what you're talking about, for quite a while. And have we talked to Wayne Elliott about it?
Yeah, so, I mean, we have the luxury also, I mean, appreciate the compliments, but we have the luxury to have, I think, one of the best engineering firms in the state with Aldrich and Elliott, the work that they helped us with our water infrastructure, our water plant upgrade, and now working with our sewer system. So, they're great partners to have with us. They've done a lot of work pro bono for us, but also for Highgate to get that project to the point it is now, and hopefully we'll realize that very soon. We did a back of the envelope years ago about running water service from our reservoir, and it was up above $7 million. So they would have to be pump stations. Ironically, exit 20 is higher elevation than our reservoir is. Yeah, so we could look. There's other options there. Between Janes Road, which is a portion of that is privately owned, but Janes Road down to you folks, I think, is what, a mile? Maybe a little bit less than a mile, right around a mile to the St. Albans town connector. So we don't have any sewer infrastructure down McQuam Shore. That also would be pricey. You're going to have forced mains because that elevation is lower than where our wastewater plant is. And then you're talking possibly some upgrades to the wastewater system, but with the ARPA funds, and we haven't even seen what the next round is going to be yet either. So there may be possibilities for some upgrades, and
town of Highgate is supposed to vote September 14th on moving forward. Try to remember that exit 20 park there, the town of Swanton Park. Did they entertain some studies to have an independent system out there, water and sewer?
We mentioned that when we had that small meeting there with the town. I don't know where else they went with that conversation, but we did plant the seed with them, and David had also mentioned that they were looking into that. But we have the skill base to run sewer systems, so I mean, we're going to do this. We're offering the same thing for Highgate once that project's in play to offer our staffing for technical assistance. So
it's not really feasible to run water from our reservoir way out there.
Possibly not. Yeah, I would say no, but.
But there could be other options.
Could be other options, yeah.
We used to, several years back, when this 207 possible build-out was happening, we took the initiative and ran extra power down there, new poles and electricity, and so we've got skin in the game. And so that piece of the action, I think, is ready. We were anticipating a hotel and a bunch of other things that were supposed to happen. So we understand what you're asking for.
When we talked to a regional media outlet, what we have a couple times in the past 6 months. Our narrative is that the A35 and the Highgate Airport project open us up to being the manufacturing and logistical gateway from the Port of Montreal into New England, quite literally. In order to capitalize on that, we need this project in Highgate to go correctly, and then we need to have plans ready to facilitate other growth when the Highgate Airport fills up. So I think if you see everything go right up there, I think it will fill up within 10 years. You know, it's going to be huge. You know, we're once in a generation opportunity, and if everything goes right, it's going to bleed into Swanton, St. Albans Town, St. Albans City, Georgia, Fairfield. Will be a bedroom community to Highgate in some respects. You know, you've got a nice industrial park here, not far from your beautiful village complex. You know, we admire this complex every time we go by. We want to make sure whatever we do with this $2 million, and like Reg has alluded to, there's a $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill being debated, you know, right now in Congress. So there could be more on the way. If we can work together to facilitate commercial growth or industrial growth on our north end and your south end, that just puts us that much further ahead. And you'll see,
I think that's a no-brainer.
or just organically, you've seen the drive-through in the last 10, the drive-in in the last 10 years. We've got the expansion of Handy GMC. Now we've got Haddad Subaru coming in, and you'll see TC's RV was just acquired by Camping World. So we're seeing growth. We're hoping that all of this sales-oriented growth brings us into some type of a restaurant, or you know, some type of just above fast food, whether it be a Five Guys and a Moe's or whatever it is. But we need something on that north end, and it'll need water and sewer service. So to get in the weeds a little bit, the Jeff Davis lots by Walmart have a existing agreement for allocation with the city of St. Albans that predates the affiliation fee ordinance. But once those lots are gone, everything in St. Albans town, unless the allocation on the property predates the affiliation fee ordinance, is subject to that affiliation fee. And that's 32 cents per hundred based on assessed value, forever, in perpetuity. And if that wasn't the case, we quite frankly probably wouldn't be here. So we don't know that, and we're not here by any means, because I know that will probably be the rumor on the street, will be that we're coming to Swanton to try to ruffle feathers in City Hall. That couldn't be further from the truth. You know this business, you know the players, Aldrich and Elliott. You've been through some serious issues, and you're going through one now, by the sounds of it. And your insight, and like Reg said, you've got a staff in place that could handle these accounts without us having to grow our budget to expand our staff to handle it. And quite frankly, we are more than happy to see another municipality make, you know, a reasonable margin on our ratepayers to help shed some overhead. I think that's more than reasonable. But again, we boil down to our one market, our one available market is coming on that 32 cents per hundred forever. There's no end date. So like Peerless Clothing, their affiliation fee is, you know, in the tens of thousands of dollars. And everything we see in our south end industrial park will be subject to that in the future as it continues to expand. So that, you know, we're headed to Georgia to try to address that concerning them on the north end. We're seeing the new buildings in Franklin Park West. We're still seeing this growth even with this fee because our tax rate is so low at 40 cents. But it won't always be that way forever. We've got to have a discussion this year on raising taxes 3 cents per hundred to fund a truck replacement program so that we can continue to pay cash for our public works apparatus forever in perpetuity. But that's going to require a tax increase. And we know that as long as the homestead rate in St. Albans Town goes up 11.7 cents like it did this year, it limits our ability to grow our tax rate and expand our services because we have to be conscious of our neighbors on fixed incomes. So we plan on the egg rate climbing every year, so we do everything we can to keep our tax rate stable, which means cutting Harry's budget. I can't tell you how many times we've gone into that budget and come out, you know, after cutting tens and tens of thousands of dollars.
I probably could.
You could tell us, yeah.
Go into that right now.
There's nothing left to cut. I mean, we're at that point. We can't go find $300,000 in the budget to fund the truck replacement program. 5 years ago, we probably could have. So that's where we're at. we'd love to, get your blessing to continue to meet with Reg to maybe develop a proposal to actually chew the fat on, or, so a couple areas for maybe a subcommittee to focus on of a couple of our select board members and maybe a couple trustees and whatever it looks like. But we want it to be a hand in hand together, doing it for the right reasons. And we think that you're the ideal partner to do that based on what's happened with the Highgate area.
Because historically, we've tried to work with everyone. We know, like you say, you gotta work together. If this is gonna work, it can't be button heads, town, village, town, city. You've gotta work together to bring that, the business and the funding in. And we've gotta try to figure out the easiest way to get the infrastructure in too, so. And that's why we're working so hard to host Highgate and have their development plan go through. So do what we can.
Yeah,
So,
I think usually we come up with the ideas and Lynn helps us imagine it financially, so.
There. And you know the business of doing that. You can do those back of the envelope things that would take us a consultant because we don't know this business. So if we partner with you, we'll be that much further ahead. 2 years of research and development will be totally negated because you know this business. You'll be able to tell us that won't work, or maybe this might work. And that's what we're trying to get to. We know that this ARPA money's got a limited window. You can't leave it in a bank account for 10 years. You got to figure out how to spend it, and water and sewer is a qualifying expense. So, and we need it to facilitate this commercial growth. That's keeping our tax rate low and allowing us to provide better than average services for our residential taxpayers.
like Reggie said, Wayne Elliott and the Eldridge, we've worked with them for years. They know our infrastructure, our sewer and water better than anyone, and they've done more for us than anyone else had, in my tenure anyway, and Reggie's. So maybe we could pick their brain for some ideas for ways to expand or create new
Yeah.
sources.
I've already started the seed, so.
Even if the first couple of endeavors are a bang for buck option, extend a water line down McQuon Shore to pick up users, just to get a relationship going.
Yeah.
We don't think we're going to light the world on fire in the first 5 years, but we're willing to invest.
But it
a
would be
couple
okay if we
generations.
did.
Yeah, we would be. Yeah, we'd be fine with that. Hey, if the president wants to send us, 10 more million, we'll use that as a down payment on some kind of plan. But, our local option tax has enabled us to. We paid cash for a $4.2 million public works facility. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This complex is really well set up logistically. I guess we still marvel at it, but we are darn proud of our approach. And we're about to break ground on the new town hall in the Bay Village area. And after that, we really, we have some unfunded liabilities. We have a dock that needs $1 million worth of work. Our historic stone house maybe is $500,000. But we know how our bills are paid, and we know that if we don't continue to facilitate that growth, the receipts aren't going to grow. If the receipts don't grow, the conversation becomes raising taxes on homeowners or cutting services. We don't want to have to pick either of those options.
Because we have a limited amount of real estate that we can work with, and we do have infrastructure. Our capacity is still up there. We've got plenty of capacity.
Yeah.
We don't have any developable land in the village, so we have to work
But
on the outside.
yeah, that's where you start working with your other community partners that have the room and the expansion and want to work with you. So I think one of the things that I would encourage that we start letting our congressional staff know, Welch, Leahy, and Sanders, let them know that how we're working with you, Highgate. That hopefully they'll send some money our way too. I got a bridge that's going to be in dire need here soon, but yeah, we're willing to do what it takes to make something happen. I mean, with Highgate, we're offering the staff our expertise, and it's not coming. The infrastructure and all that stuff isn't coming out of our ratepayers' pocket either. So it's sometimes the smarts are just as needed as the money too, so.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with that more.
It felt good, excuse me, it felt good when we had our informational meeting to have the state, the airport, and the federal government behind this project. And, trying to say, hey, you want to go for it or don't you? And hopefully they'll be good and want to go for it.
I know Carrie and I, when we hit our knees to say our prayer tonight for the next however many days between now and September 14th, there will be some kind of a prayer related to that law. We know how important it is to the area. We know that our industrial park will see growth related to that project. And it wouldn't even be a discussion if Swanton Village decided to be, to operate in vacuum. So the way you guys have conducted yourselves and lended yourselves to the high gate, just, all the encouragement we needed to come. The fact that we've got a couple million, a little under a couple million, plus potentially some more money coming our way to use as a down payment. We've got, and not to speak for our select board, but I think we could talk about having up to $500,000 a year in flexibility in our local option tax if it was spent in a way that would encourage great municipal. So we've got ongoing revenue that we could allocate. We've got a down payment coming, and we've had discussions. We're not against the idea of leveraging the local option tax to pay a bond, and then using a special assessment to cover some of that principal and interest payment over time as people hold on to it until the system's paid up. So we're willing to be creative. Our tax rate, our municipal rate is so low that it gives us the ability to be creative with special assessments to pay bonds. So again, we love your consent to continue to work with P.E.G and Aldrich and Elliott to figure out if there are some projects that we really need to be discussing.
I don't think we have any opposition on this board.
No. The more we talk about growth, the better the whole county, and that's, we know what the next county over does. We're focused on this county, and if we work together, we're just that much better. So,
like I said, I don't think there's any opposition on this, so if there's anything you can think of that we can, let us know, we can move forward on it.
Quite frankly, we're looking forward to following P.E.G's lead for a while until we get our feet wet, and we might have a couple of rough ideas to throw at the board to see if they stick. But again, we recognize what we have for in-house expertise, and it pales in comparison.
We also realized recently that we don't have to do only the old traditional system. When we were working with an industrial park pump upgrade recently, the engineer pointed out that perhaps these decentralized units in different areas would work best for us because we're spread out, we're all over the place. The same system that's going to work in the Bay is not necessarily the same system for 19 or so that's why Brendan's earlier comment, circle back to that we're going to try whatever works for each area of the town. It can be, sized appropriately, cost effectively to work. Pretty excited about that.
So you guys are, both the town and the city have come a long ways in the
Yes,
last
they have.
5 years. And I think the majority of it has got to do with working together. So it's coming good. If we can continue that movement north, that'd be great.
We would love it.
Oh, we love it. Eventually, we want growth to come from the south. We want Montreal's business to really drive the airport, to drive our industrial park. We've got Barry Calabo, Peerless Global. We've got good Canadian companies right in Perigo, Georgia. It was at one time. When it became Perigo, I don't know the history of why it was, when it became Perigo, my mother-in-law relocated from Quebec City as a food scientist to work at Perigo because it was a Canadian company. And I wouldn't be married to my wife if that were the case. So we know how the regional economy operates, and we'll take advantage of it.
We look forward to developing it together. And Reg will probably be in touch with Wayne at some point soon. To pick his brain for swap.
Yeah, what's left of it, you can pick it.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. And,
Thank you very much. Sorry to interrupt your meeting. Oh, yeah, I'm fully vaccinated. We're all good. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
Have a good
Oh,
Let's stick together.
Okay, item number 8 on our agenda this evening is to approve and set the Village of Swanton 2021 tax rate. I've got a funny feeling Lynn's going to like something.
So the grand list came up from last year a little bit. And so what it calculates out to now is 0.8805 for a tax rate. What we had in the estimated tax rate in the village report was 0.8843. So it's lower than what we had estimated at year end. It's up from 0.8722, which is like 0.95%. So it's less than 1% increase over last year's tax rate.
Less than 1%, you said?
Less than 1%. In total, it will raise $1.4 million in taxes, rounded. $1,436,745.
The less than 1% makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Makes me very
So
happy.
if you look on the spreadsheet that Diane would have sent you, the first page had the calculation of the tax rate. Oh, you didn't email that to me. The second page gives you the breakdown by house value. And in getting the town's grand list and adding ours, total grand list for the town of Swanton, the village is now 23% of the grand list, and the town is 77%.
Just to reiterate for those in TV land, our tax increase is going up less than 1%. So, nice job, Lynn.
Thanks.
I don't have a problem. So, we
I'll make the motion that we approve approve and set the Village of Swanton tax rate for 2021 at 0.8805, which is a 0.95% increase from 2020.
And I would second it.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to set the Swanton Village tax rate at 0.8805. We have a second.
Yes, right here.
Discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion's carried unanimously. We'll set our 2021 tax rate at 0.8805. Item number 9 on our agenda this evening, any other necessary business? Who would like to start? Or is there any?
I got a couple things.
Okay.
Just a quick update from SPAN. The third art wall is in the process of being installed down at McQuam Beach, an 8x8. Got an email from the committee over the weekend, I think it was, and the art walls are going well. The one thing they're finding is that when the artists have painted them and have left them up for the 2 weeks, they don't want them reset. They're taking them down and they're replacing
Oh.
the walls. So
Okay.
But I'm getting a lot of nice feedback. I haven't heard, I think I heard one negative, but I mean, you know, the positives outweigh the negative right now. So, you know, kudos to Span for the work that they're doing, that they continue to do, and you know, we're gonna see some nice stuff pop up here in the next, you know, months to years. So
Yeah, I agree. They've done a great job. Michelle and her team should
Yep.
commend. We've got some nice displays so far, and I'm sure there'll
Yep.
be more.
absolutely. So, and I'll get on my bandwagon about speeding. Use your head, people. Slow down. People are walking. People are riding bikes. Slow down. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, Chris?
I just wanted to comment on the National Night Out. I thought it was a good crowd.
And the car
It
show.
was, it really went nice. We had music, we had people dancing and having a good time and sitting around. The food was good, I tried some of it. The free ice cream was even better, but I mean,
Yeah.
that was really nice. And I think people showed real support for our village services, particularly our police department, which I think is important.
Yeah, especially now.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go along with Chris. It was a great time down there. TDI did a good job with the food and all the other sponsors, vendors, and there was quite a few people.
A lot of people. Yep.
Good music.
Yep.
The band that the kids involved at one point, that was great. So, yeah, good job. So.
And the car show was a success. Thank you folks for coming out. We really appreciate it. So, and 197 beautiful cars. Best of show is a 1956 Chevy Nomad. If you don't know what it is, Google it.
I used to own that.
Nomad. Nomad. It was gorgeous. It
Oh,
was,
yeah.
but no, the park was packed. It was great to see people out again. And you can.
That was
you can-
fantastic in the fact that you couldn't get the Canadian crowd that's usually here.
I know.
I know.
Not one Canadian car came in. We had 197 cars.
Yeah.
So that was good. You know, people were itching to come out. And
What'd you end up with the fundraiser, the raffle?
the 50-50 raffle, we raised $1,597. We had two winners of $399.25, and the balance of it is going to go to more events in the community
Okay.
to bring people together.
Yeah. Good.
Typically, how many Canadian cars come down?
Typically, we'll get anywhere from 40 to 60 cars. Yep. It's
Yeah,
a lot.
we
It's a
understand.
lot of fun.
Sure, yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So we did play the Canadian national anthem in their honor this year. So
Yeah. And Reg, you,
Just that we welded that plate on the bridge, and most likely won't hold, but it's gonna be there. Hopefully, we'll get a plan before the snow flies.
it's starting to make noise already. But it's not tinny like it was, it's just like a bump.
Yeah,
But there's a lot of traffic goes by.
yeah,
it's
still.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and the people just flying up and down that road is it's sick.
Between
Sad.
8 and 11 o'clock at night, boy, those trucks really pound through there, so. And I'm not there during the day, but I imagine they do the same thing during the day.
I've had a couple residents come up and
Yeah.
say, "What the hell?"
Well,
About
that-
10,000
That's why I said
vehicles a
for a
day.
long time, that downtown study has got to really hammer on those trucks. Because they don't need to be in town.
And just update on the Riviera Hotel. I have the tree crew ready to go in and clear cut around the building so we can see what kind of a mess we've got to clean up. And I got a hold of an excavator to just not do anything that we shouldn't, but just to clean up the excess growth around there, so. And I heard through the grapevine that there eventually will be some brownfields money available for that site, which is what we most need for that. So, but it's moving slower than we'd like to have, but it'll be cleaned up. So, anything else, Reg? No?
I don't have anything.
Okay. That being said, I guess I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss customer accounts and personnel.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded to go into executive session to discuss customer accounts and personnel. All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion's carried unanimously. We're in executive session. Okay, we have just come out of executive session after discussing customer accounts and personnel. As to customer accounts, I think Mr. Paxman has a motion to that effect.
Yes, sir.
What our decision was.
So after discussion, I make the motion to move ahead with the opportunity to increase our water line from 2-inch to 8-inch on Upper Ferris Street.
And I would second.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to move ahead with the increased water line along Upper Ferris Street. Any more discussion on that this evening? No, sir. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion is carried unanimously. The other item, subject was about personnel. We received Chief Leonard Stell's retirement message, and I will read our statement. Swanton Village Trustees would like to announce the retirement of Chief Leonard Stell. Chief Stell has served with distinction as the Swanton Village Police Chief for the past 14 years. During Chief Stell's time, he has overseen the addition of a school resource officer who was placed at Missisquoi Valley Union High School. The department also saw the addition of a contract with the town of Swanton for police coverage, resulting in a 56-hour-a-week contract. Chief Stell has said many times that the success of the Swanton Village Police Department was not his alone, but that of the team of officers within the department. Chief Stell's official retirement date will be January 2nd, 2022. Chief Stell has offered to assist with finding his replacement. Trustees will be discussing a replacement strategy for filling this important role for our community. Trustees would like to thank Chief Stell for his years of dedication to the department and the community. And with that, I'll accept a motion to accept his retirement letter.
So moved.
Seconded.
So the trustees have moved and seconded a motion to accept Chief Stell's retirement letter. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion is carried.
You want to have Lynn send that, or Diane send it to the messenger and put it on Facebook?
So that is it, or?
Yeah, that's just it. We got a job description for an ad. We're just going to critique it a little bit more and dress it up so we can put that out very soon as well.
That will be going out to the press and media.
Yeah, probably should end up sending it down to the academy too.
Okay, good. So that being all that we have to handle this evening, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting of the Swanton Village Board of Trustees.
So moved. And second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn this meeting, regular meeting of the Swanton Village Board of Trustees for August 9th, 2021. Thank you for your attention this evening, and have a good evening. This meeting is adjourned.